Hi everyone, this is PC with live exercise. Today we are addressing the ab wheel extension. For this exercise, you're going to require the ab wheel. I'm here with my friend Rebecca, and before we start, we're going to show you proper body position. If you notice, Rebecca's toes are pointed out. So the first thing we want to be conscious of is pulling the toes in to support the core. Okay? And then as she places her hands on the handle, all right, we want to make sure that the tailbone is going to be tucked in. Think of your pelvis as a bucket. We can pour water out of the front of the bucket or pour water out of the back of the bucket. So for this movement, we want to keep water out of the back of the bucket, supporting her core. This is a deep, deep core stabilization exercise. Hugely beneficial if done the right way, so we're going to show you how to do that. There are two different variations of doing the ab wheel extension. We're going to show you the more basic one first. Right now, she's starting with her hips over her legs. She's going to roll out with her wheel, and the hips will follow her as she rolls out. The wheel should not get too far ahead of us, but then as we return back with the hips. So you're getting a nice constant flow of loading the core, and then as she pulls her hips back, she's unloading and relaxing. Okay, so she's going to go back and forth, increasing the load as she rolls out, and then unloading as she rolls in. Now, the more advanced version would be to keep the hips constantly in a state of being out in extension, and then she's going to roll her wheel out, and her chest is going to drop as she does so. Notice the chest rises as she returns with the wheel. She's going to continue going in a real-time pace. So as she comes back to me, okay, she's going to roll the wheel out. She's pressing her wheel into the ground, and that's what causes the chest to rise. So in this state, the core is always loaded, just in varying degrees, as opposed to being unloaded and loaded. It's always in a state of load, just a matter of how much so, okay? If you wanted an even more advanced version, she can show you different directions. So now she's going to come back out to that position again. She's going to roll out to her left in a straight V-cut. So now we're adding lateral flexion to her spine, engaging even more core muscles, and she rolls out and she goes out to the right. So we're creating a V effect here, alternating. And if you wanted the true, even more most advanced version, she's going to roll out straight forward, and at the last second, she's going to arc her wheel, if you so are willing to try. Now that we've shown you some of the do's of this exercise, let's talk about some of the common pitfalls. All right, people who generally can't stabilize their core, okay, will tend to excessively arch their back. We call this the bowl of soup syndrome, right? She's going to roll out, and as you can see, she's going to excessively arch her back, okay, and this is bad form. There's a very fine line as to what's beneficial with this exercise and as to what can be harmful. So keeping your tailbone posteriorly tucked, all right, just think of the bucket backward, and that's going to support the core as she rolls out. Okay, that's a common pitfall. Also, people tend to go out too far where they can't support their core. So you only want to roll out as far as you can successfully complete with good form. I can't stress that enough. This exercise is fantastic if done with quality. It can be poorly done and harmful if it's done not correctly. Okay, so we've shown you a couple of variations of the ab wheel extension. Hips back and forth, and with the hips staying in a down position. All right? On behalf of Rebecca and Live Exercise, I'm PC, signing out. Hope you make it a great day.